Oh, I don't know what happened. That should be okay. I'm showing that. They're growing. There we are. Hey, everybody. How are you this afternoon? We are here and we are live. Of course, you know this is the Shop Black podcast of the BOB Rewards Club. I am your hostess, LaShawn the Boisterous.
And I'm Deuce Terry.
And we have a great show for you today. We have some animators in the building who are in the BOB network. Woo! Yes, so in honor of all the animators, and we also, while we do have our animators on board today, we all want to take a brief moment of silence before we go further to pay homage to the creator of Dragon Ball Z, who passed about 2 days ago, Akira. I can't pronounce his last name. But you know, that was a big part of all of our childhoods or even adulthoods at some point. So brief moment of silence to one of the guys who inspired many of us all around the world. All right. Yes. So thank you guys for joining us today. And again, this has been a very overwhelming week to know that, you know, as we were gearing up for more Dragon Ball Z, to see how the corner was going to turn and how this new generation was going to be developed. And then all of a sudden this happens. It's pretty big blow to the animation community. I don't know how many of us in the Shop Black community are like in tune to anime, but Deuce and I, like, that's one of our things. Yeah. So we are happy to have you here today, and we are very happy to have Ty Marcellus on and Willie Rogers of Rogers Entertainment, and we'll be looking at some of their works and their wares and talking to them a little bit later in the show. But first, we have to tell you what BOB Shop Black is all about and BOB Rewards Club is all about. So BOB Rewards Club is Black-owned businesses, and we have nonprofit chapters all over the United States and growing. So far, we have 5 chapters. And what we do is we link together Black-owned businesses from all over the world. I mean, well, nation right now. And we all come together for events, but these events are not without purpose. So because the BOB Rewards, headed up by Michelle Gibson, stemmed out of Minneapolis, which has a huge African American incarceration ratio population, which is crazy insane, to the point where we're already the minority, but the majority of the people in prison, which is kind of how it is all around the world. But it's a crazy and disproportionate social economic disadvantage in Minnesota. And so BOB sprung into life as a call to action to try to educate and help people, you know, learn businesses to kind of come up out of that economic disparity in that area. So it is a tool. BOB Rewards is a tool to help, you know, a disenfranchised population not hang on to a stigma of helplessness and get into a position to help themselves, you know, out of the positions of I don't know, I guess poverty and all kinds of joblessness and homelessness that they are in. So that's what BOB Rewards Club kind of stemmed from as far as the spirit. But we want to talk to you about the benefits and how you can join. Bear with me as I go into presentation mode. Deuce, would you take that over as I go into that?
Gotcha.
No,
I thought you were waiting for the screen.
I'm trying.
You know how it was in class when reading off the screen. Give us a moment to go ahead and pull up the website so you can get more insight on what we do. So, like we said, BOB is a Black-owned business. Of course, we represent BOB Rewards. If you go to the website at bobrewards.club, you can take a look at some of the listings that we have, some of the courses that we have. You can also take time out to donate to the cause.
And you can join for $10 as a consumer and also $25 as a business member. And as a business member, you also get the opportunity to be on the podcast with us, and we can showcase you all around on this awesome podcast that is streaming on about 10 platforms right now between CEPTV, BOB, Late Night Hype, and all the other platforms that we have joined as partners with BOB. So
you also get insight with the email listing that we have available with all the events that we have coming up later on this year.
Speaking of events, the first event we have coming up is the Milwaukee Black Wall Street Days. Now, this was going to be an in-person event, but there has been a change of plans. And so what we're going to do is something much more phenomenal, which is going to have much more reach nationwide. We're going to be going virtual with a Black Wall Street Days nationwide virtual thon, and it's going to be on Monday the 27th from 12 to 6, and you'll be with us, myself, LaShawn the Boisterous, and Deuce Terry, and we're going to be hosting it. So we're going to have many people speaking. Among those speaking will be Dr. Umar, and I have some treats for you, some people in my personal network that are stepping up to speak. You do not want to miss this event. It's going to be very fulfilling. We have many great speakers and also performers around the nation. So if you guys, on my end, I am heading up the performer. So if you're interested in a virtual performance, please reach out to me and let me know. This won't be happening until May the 27th. So we do have time, but at the same token, we don't have time.
So I hope it brings like the nostalgic feeling, because I remember watching that as a kid, like all the telethons used to be on ABC and CBS back in the day, where people would raise money and they would have all these celebrities televised, and the people would call in to support the cause. So we're trying to bring that back. We're trying to make it an event and making a thing. So of course we need you to spread the word. Tell all their Black investor friends or millionaire friends about BOB and how they can help participate with the virtual thon.
Yes, that would be great. So, we want to reflect on Tulsa, Oklahoma, not just the bad parts of what happened as far as the massacre that took place. We want to talk about the economic goals that they had set for us in that day. And we want to reflect on, how that was back then and how we can build and remember that and kind of use
Speaking
that.
Of goals, like people say, like relationship goals, that's business goals, that's entrepreneur goals, that's Black community goals, to make the Black dollar circulate throughout the community. So that's what the purpose or intel of the Black Wall Street was. And it wasn't just in
Tulsa.
It was some in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, all over the U.S., and they were crushed and eliminated by certain circumstances. So in light of, we still celebrate that and the success that they had, but we don't want to forget our history as well.
That's right. So please join us for that. And then after that, we have the Juneteenth that will be following that. And let me see if I can find the link for that. Of course, there's always something going on with BOB. So if you are in the Wisconsin or Iowa or Minnesota or Milwaukee area, and coming soon to Charlotte, North Carolina, there's always going to be something going on to help. There's ways to just participate. And let me find the Black Wall Street.
And also, if you're in business of promoting or marketing your own business, we do have sponsorship slots available. And if you want to come out and participate, we also have vendor slots available.
That's right. Definitely. And we do have virtual vendor slots available for this virtual event coming up. So you'll get a chance to speak about your business and what you have going on for that. So as you can see, there's lots of training. Oh, here's Juneteenth right here. Here we go. that down. There we go. Juneteenth right here. So Juneteenth is in full effect as well. So make sure you don't forget about that. That is going to be the West Broadway Block Party Monday, June 19th through I'm sorry, 12 to 6 p.m. on West Broadway from Lindale to Emerson. And of course, the theme is Journey to Freedom is not a sprint, it
It's
is
a
a
marathon.
marathon. So we want you to participate in that. This will be, I believe, the second annual. So lots of things going on. So don't forget about that vendor opportunity.
And as well, we can go ahead and bring the kids out. We have things for the kids like
Mhm.
bounce houses, face painting, and other games available for the kids as well. So of course, it's a opportunity for adults, but it's also a learning opportunity as well for kids and to have fun. So don't forget the kiddos.
That's right.
You can go to juneteenthminnesota.com for more information.
Or, well, it's bobrewards.club, Juneteenth, Minnesota. Oh, I guess it is June. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even see that. Okay, so another vanity link right there, and that's going to bring you right back to the beginning of all that, and that's going to give you more information with the event schedules and event highlights. So yes, that is the link to go to. Yes, yes, yes. So please RSVP for that. Okay.
Did you see the parade?
Did I see the parade?
No, no, no. So it's going to be a parade on June 16th at 10 a.m. on West Broad, starting at Emerson and Lindale Avenue.
Right. So there's going to be events leading all the way up to that event. So
Mhm.
again, make sure we just want to make sure that you are in the know and you know how you can get involved and how you can participate in the BOB rewards events that we have coming up. So there is that. Let's see. We got some comments coming in. Let's see. That is Michelle chiming in. Yep.
Good morning. Morning, Miss Jones.
And yep, Miss Jennifer Jones is with us. So thank y'all for popping in with us and checking out what we have today. We are going to get right into our guest, and we do also want to make sure we thank our sponsor and open up that opportunity that you can advertise or sponsor this show as well. Progress Platform Productions. Am I saying
Publications.
publications? Okay. Okay, so we want to make sure we give, and that is Dion, Mr. Dion Harris.
Right. He was on the show last week. If you didn't get a chance to see it, check out the reruns on our YouTube page or any of our live feeds.
Yes, yes, yes. And Michelle has added those sites for us. She's co-adminning for us, so we appreciate that. Yes, and she has those links in the chats that you all can go check out. Without further ado, we are going to bring our guests on. Let me hide that first. And we have Willie Rogers of Will Rogers Entertainment and Ty Marcus joining us. Marcellus, I'm sorry. Marcellus joining us this afternoon. I know I need some coffee. Thank you guys for joining. How are you today? Willie, unmute your mic. Or do I need to unmute? Okay, there we go.
What's going on, fellas?
Not much. I'm good. How are you guys?
All right.
Awesome. It's good to have you. Willie, I think we can hear you now. How's everything going? No sound, Willie. Check your things. I'm sorry we didn't get to do a sound check today.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just maintaining. Just thank God for waking up every day.
That's right.
All that good stuff.
Okay, so let's start with you, Ty. Willie, we know personally, we have a personal connection with Willie. So of course we'll get these questions to both. But we want to start off with Ty because we went to your website. We're going to show the people your website. You have over 1,000 characters. Tell us about yourself, your company, and how you got started in animation.
Man created a universe.
Yeah, so I got started actually back in 2016 when I was going to college for music business, and I got this project where they sent me home and we had to take a piece of film and replace it with music, do a little film scoring. So on the way home, I was just thinking, listening to my music of all the possible things that could be happening during the certain songs. And suddenly I came up with this character, the character of Firefly, which is actually my second book that I'm trying to get published right now this year. Um, but I thought of it, and then eventually from him, I thought of other characters that he could fight and people he'd be friends with. And then I created a team, and then eventually it just snowballed into this whole universe. And kind of the goal with how many characters I have, just to get this right off the bat, is to avoid retcons. That's kind of, one of the annoyances of reading comics, which is where, a writer might kill off a character because it's good for the story, but then the next writer doesn't like that, so suddenly they're alive for no reason. But I have, specifically the last time I counted, 1,710 characters in the whole universe, and that's just because it's planned out. Like, that's even children of characters that I started with, just so that I have the whole plan there, so I never write myself into a corner. It's just ready to go. So the writers I hire just, eventually, once I can hire writers, just follow the plan.
Awesome. I love that. So let me ask you, like, with your animation, where do you get a lot of your creative inspiration
Inspiration.
from?
Right.
Yeah. So, another goal of the company, besides avoiding retcons, is rooting it in diversity and inclusion and creating characters that are just as representative as our world is, colored and people of different gender, religion, all of that stuff. So mostly the inspiration does come from just the world, people in it. And a lot of it too also comes from me studying different culture, which, when it comes to being a writer, people always ask me, do I just like sit and write all day? But I would say like 90% of my job as a writer is research. So I study cultures, I study mythologies and get inspiration from those mythologies. I study science and like, black holes and like, okay, how could I give what a black hole does to a character? How would they use that power? What would make, at least comic book sense? So all of that, just studying, finding things out, just kind of how my brain works.
Love it. Love it. Willie, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the BOB Rewards Club members,
Okay.
and about your animation and how you got started.
Oh yes, my name is Willie Brian Rogers Jr. and I'm going by the name of Rogers Entertainment. Yes, I wanted to go by like how I started. Like like every time I watch cartoons, it's like I just want to know like how the guy started, how cartoons are made, and I've been doing a lot of studying about like art, cartoons, characters, design, all that good stuff. And basically, I went to college for it and teach me about like animation, about like how to build characters, how to describe your characters. Also, it's like it's like doing like frame by frame animation and all that good stuff.
Right, because you dabble in 3D and you
Yes,
dabble into 2D
Graphic design.
animation.
yes.
Awesome, awesome. So when it comes to, so you have been working on um, the Adventures of Willie Rogers. That has been your longest one, right?
Oh yes, the Ventures of Willie D.
Willie
Yeah,
D. Okay.
because yeah, I've been working on that ever since I've been in college, and then I got my characters copyrighted ever since that time. I believe like it was on like 2011.
We're trying to bring
Uh,
us content on the feed. Keep going, Will.
Go
I'm sorry.
ahead, go ahead. We're pulling up some links while you're talking.
okay, awesome. Yes, yes. So the copyrighted, excuse me. So the characters already been copyrighted ever since. Then I try to push the idea on YouTube. a bit promoting like on Facebook, and then Instagram had came up, and then that's why I was like thinking about doing like comic strips, like web comics, and so my very first web comic is on the Pass and and on Webtoons as well, and then also moving forward, you know, working on like animated projects and all that great stuff.
Okay, and Ty, your main comic, tell us the name of your main comic. And do you have other spin-offs other than the main one
Firefly.
that you have on the website?
Yeah, so the main comic, the one that I got published in 2021, so still, a little new to this whole thing, is Night Wraith. That would be this guy here. So this guy is the main male character of the universe. And I'm currently working on some other universes, but each universe has a main male and a female character. And the only reason that the female character's comic isn't made yet is just because timeline, she's things have to happen first. So anyway, that's the one I got published. But Firefly, even though I made him first, he's the second character to be made in the timeline. So this is the one I have printed, so I sell at the events that I table at, just to get money to hopefully publish this one next. So not published yet, but that will be the next one there. And then CSL, this guy would be the third comic in the timeline. So again, printed to hopefully publish this one day once I can afford to. But funny enough, CSL was actually the very first character I ever made when I was like 8 years old. And he's kind of been revamped and brought into this universe that I've been creating.
Okay, so we are actually looking at your website right now. Take us through
Hmm.
some of the things that you have going on, and just walk us through um, whatever you want to point out about your website. Just let me know like what to click into, and then you can kind of talk over the
Benchmark.
points,
Hmm.
yeah, on what you have going on. So of course this is your about, what you already told us mostly about yourself, and this
Yep.
is your theme up here, right?
Yeah, right. So the quote right there too is something that is kind of the mission statement you could say of the whole business, which I'll read it here, that everybody has the capability to be a hero just as much as they do a villain, no matter your gender or religion. What matters is your character. Multiple different characters, again, heroes, villains, and I don't want people to think that just because one character is black, the other's white, and they're fighting each other, that makes all of one of that race, evil or something like that. It's all just about character. That's really the driving force behind the universe. And you saw my artist up there. He's from England. He does all of the artwork for me. I just write the story, make the characters, and design the universe. And he's wonderful, Nico there. Um, I give him the base idea for my character. Like I have a very, unprofessional, you could say, program that I just elaborate on the character.
Hmm.
And he's great. He's been so wonderful. Does an amazing job.
Now, I was gonna ask, but you kind of already put it out there. Like your relationship, like how easy is it for you? Like the flow that you guys have developed over time. Like when you get a concept in your head and you describe it to him, does he just kind of like pick up on what he thinks that you might want and kind of nail it the first time? Like how is your working relationship together?
Yeah, usually he nails it the first time. One of the things he said when I sent him the first comic book script for Night Wraith was that of the other writers he's worked with, no one had more detail. And it helps too that for me, for all of my comic book scripts I write, I also have a playlist on my phone of like music that kind of inspires some of the things.
Love it.
Mhm.
So at the top, I have a song to listen to that not only inspires the character, but also the mood that the book's supposed to be going for, and just, helps get it more in his head for what I'm kind of trying to do. And even some of the lyrics of the songs I choose match events that the characters go through. And I got that, I was so blessed to meet Christopher Priest, who wrote the Black Panther comics throughout the 90s. Um,
Yeah.
and I met him at a comic convention, and we talked for a long time about what I was doing, and I wasn't even published yet. But he actually gave me a signed copy of his first Black Panther script. So then
Wow.
when it came to me writing my first script, I just like copied his format and style, and so that's why I feel like, the script I gave Nico was, not perfect, of course, but it was exactly what it needed to be.
Isn't that amazing when the people that we consider vets in the game, when we come and we have these fresh ideas, they always get
Hmm.
re-inspired off of us.
Like mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
that's what I was going to get into. I don't know if it's a
Hmm.
off subject, but it's just amazing because me as a grown man, being an '80s baby, like being big into comics and Saturday morning cartoons. Like I lived for Saturday morning cartoons. Like didn't need an alarm clock to wake up at 8 o'clock.
Hmm.
Check out things like X-Men or Batman or Adventures of Superman. Like this world or universe that we've immersed in and monetized with all came from like a childhood dream. Like everybody wanted superpowers. Everybody wanted to be some kind of
Hmm.
hero or villain. It depends on how sadistic you were as a kid.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
like I wanted to get into some nerd stuff while I have you guys on because things like, like Black Panther, way back from the 70s until now, or even with
Hmm.
X-Men 97 coming out, or the Disney's Marvel's What Ifs. Like it's everything. It's a time that we live in right now that's amazing. I don't know if you guys, like I said, it's inspiration
Hmm.
for for your content, but look at the world that we're living in right now. You know what I mean? This is 30, 40 years in the making. Who were some of you
Yeah.
guys' biggest
Yeah. I'm
comic
actually.
book characters as a kid? Go ahead, Willie.
You can go ahead and answer this first since I just talked.
Oh yeah, my favorite comic book as a kid is Spider Man because yeah, because excuse me, Spider Man is the best comic book, and I love all comic books like Superman, and I did say Spider Man, like Marvel, DC, you name it, because I love every single comic book there is.
So did you think like as a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons, like I said, even from the '80s or from the '90s, different genres of Spider-Man, right? Did you ever think
Yes.
we see like live action like we see it today? Like 2003, that Spider-Man was different than having all three Spider-Mans on the screen at the same time. Like it was really amazing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And from deriving from all the way from 2008 with Iron Man to even what Doctor Strange has become now.
Hmm.
You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like
Oh
it's
yeah. Yeah.
and growing. It's going to get better and better. Like it's a childhood dream come true. Ty, what about you? What were some of your favorites?
So yeah, I loved all comic books, but especially X Men. I'm actually rewatching the '90s X Men in
We
preparation
are
for the
too.
reboot right
We are.
now. But Black Panther was always a favorite. Meeting Christopher Priest was so amazing, and I even got this Black Panther tattoo. I don't know if you can see it, but I got the tattoo of his
Mhm.
things that go all around my chest, like his do. So I love Black Panther, but I also love Moon Knight is my second favorite character, kind of obscure,
Right.
that kind of stuff. But I was way more of a Marvel fan than DC. But people always would ask me like if I could have one DC character move over, who would it be? And I love Batman. He's always been dear in my heart. I would take him into Marvel if I could.
The whole Bat family.
Yeah, I love. I mean, yeah, the whole Bat family, his rogues gallery, his villains, like just what a character. I would definitely take him if I could, but it's fine. He's over there. I still watch his movies.
So, like you were
Right.
saying, it's a big thing, especially like with you guys being creators, with the character development. Like Batman, for example, we have a few Robins, we have a few different, spin-offs in the Bat family. How important was the character development, or let's just say, how much time did you devote? Like you have over 1,000 characters in one particular universe. Willie, let's go ahead and speak on some of the characters that you have. Like, how much time and devotion did you have in just doing the story arcs and different character developments over time?
Oh, to my, oh, you asking me the question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yes. So the characters that I developed, yeah, because so like the time I did Woody D, Dexter. Well, Dexter, he is the dog. He is the sidekick of Willie D as well. And basically, so the story is supposed to be about like Willie D is a superhero and Dexter is the sidekick partner. It's like a little parody of Batman, but I not use that phrase of Batman. I put it like into my own twist. Like the characters supposed to be like superheroed up in costumes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did another series called Just Being RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Just Being RJ is about a teen dealing with his older sister while staying with his parents and whatnot.
I do. I want to point out, Willie, and we've talked about this kind of before. Like a lot of yours are also family inspired too. Like a lot of your older male archetypes are kind of inspired, maybe like by your father and the family dynamic that you have with them. Especially your first 3D animation. That's with an uncle and a nephew, or is that a son and a father?
Oh, it's about Bella Chilwell.
Yes,
Well,
that's the
Bella
name.
Chilwell is he's it's like that was his pops what he was dealing with while he was going to college, and he wanted to follow his dream. And his father, he's so particularly like to run his life. Also, and his older brother named Samuel. Samuel, I'm gonna say he got more. Pops give Samuel more love than Will, because Will is trying to fit into his father's. How can I say this? Will is trying to fit in, trying to get more love from his father, but his father like loved him less, but he gave more love to Samuel.
Oh wow. Okay, and so like
can we
and
talk about A Marcus? And
yeah,
we never, I don't know if we ever spoke on like relationship we have with Willie. It's sort of like I
yeah,
guess you can say a writing room that we
yeah,
have,
uh-huh.
and we were featured in some of a couple of episodes of A Marcus as well.
And that's out though.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can check that out on
yeah.
YouTube.
Hey Marcus, and that's your spinoff from Hey Arnold.
Yes, most definitely. It's like a cartoon parody. Like I was thought about it since the year of I believe 2023 to be exact. Because I've been thinking about it, thought about it ever since. Then I finally want to put that into development. Well, that show that little mini series it do like put an impact not only me for the rest of the voice actors, cast members, and all that good stuff. And I want to say, and I do appreciate all the hard work and support that put in, and that series. It's gonna be. I'm not just gonna say this. This series is gonna be pushed forward and all that great stuff. And I just want to thank you guys for that.
And we weren't putting you on the spot, but it's a great parody. Like, we can't wait to continue. Like and just to give everybody insight, like we're characters on his
We're established voice actors.
yeah. So we work with Willie on that, and I'm going to show you there it is. I just wanted to show you guys the Facebook page where you can access all his animations. Of course, you can see he's on YouTube and IG
Twitch,
and Twitch and
Discord.
and everywhere. And I tried to go to the website, but I'm getting a clock error, and sometimes my laptop does that. So forgive me for that. But we'll scroll through and just kind of show some of the things that um, Willie works on. These are some of his 3D concepts. Um, just playing around with the 3D and the animations. And want you to tell everybody about your most recent book that you just came out with. You published your first book last month.
Yes. It's called The Adventures of Willie D, the artist who could. And oh yeah, the story is about Willie D is trying to face his challenges as an artist, and so he was trying to it's like to push forward from rejection because he got rejected by the newspaper company that he was trying to like push his comic strips and get it published, and so that way he can you know face his fears, not let anything stop him to achieve his goals. So this book is like it's supposed to encourage others to keep pushing forward, not to give up on your dreams. Just keep fighting on your dreams and all that good stuff because cause this book gonna teach kids not to give up on their dreams. Just move forward. 'Cause I just want to spread the message to every kid in America not to give up on your dreams and just keep pushing forward. Also, keep God first. And that's my message.
Love it, love it. So congratulations to you on that. That is a huge accomplishment. And Ty, so you have your on the website. It shows. Oh, sorry about that. On the website, it shows on as far as your books go. Let's see. It was events and comics.
Are these books sold on any? Well, both of these are currently out right now. Are they sold on any other platforms? Or is it all independent, Ty?
There we go.
So Night Wraith is the only one that's like actually published. So Night Wraith is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and then you can also get it through iTaska Books, which is my publisher, and that makes me the most money. So get it from iTaska Books.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that one's out, and then like I said, Firefly is the one I'm trying to do next. So I'm gonna start crowdfunding later this year. The only reason I'm not crowdfunding now is because I'm actually fundraising for something else. My wife and I are doing a dancing competition on April
Oh,
13th to raise awareness for suicide and mental health. And we
ah,
also have to fundraise for the company as we lead up to that event. And we get like a free choreographer to teach us to dance. And so I'm fundraising for that. So, once that's done, April 13th, I'll start crowdfunding for Firefly there to get that one published.
love it, love it, love it. So you guys are pushing through. Now tell me how you guys linked in with the BOB Rewards Club.
Mhm.
I think trying to remember back now how I even it was either Michelle found me and reached out. That could have been it, but I think it was actually at one of my like tabling events. Usually I try if my wife is able to come there, which usually she is. She holds down the table and she kind of knows what to say if someone walks up. Then I walk around just to connect with other businesses that I can find. And so it's possible, I don't exactly remember that, BOB was at that event and I must have met someone, found their table, and connected that way.
Awesome. So have you found any value in the BOB Rewards Club so far? And if so, explain or expound a little bit on that.
Yeah. So far, so I was at Juneteenth last year with the table,
Oh,
and I
really?
did pretty well as far as selling books. And I'm signed up to be at the Milwaukee event as well, and then Juneteenth again this year. And then I'm also doing some other events throughout the year on my schedule that I'll be at just to sign books, sell books, some other merchandise that I have. But I'm starting to, for the first time, work with Michelle and some other people on growing my business here now,
Yeah.
which is, something we hadn't started until recently. So I'm really excited to see what we can do for the business because, like I said, I just got published in 2021, and then life happened, and trying to get published again here and grow this business slowly but surely. So any help I can get in doing it, because my main job is just being a teacher, so I have like no money to work with, no extra money as a teacher.
Are you
But
a music teacher?
you know no, actually, high school English is what I teach, but I do play. If you see behind me, I play 6 instruments and I like to produce music. Like I said, I started in the music business. That's when I got my degree, and I used to book concerts. Was like my main job. Open up some music studios and stuff. But when COVID happened, I was let go from booking concerts, and so that's when I went back and got my teaching degree, which was always kind of like my backup plan.
Okay. Very smart.
Always
Very
need a
smart.
plan B.
Yes. And what
Yeah,
about you, Willie?
I've
yeah.
been with Bob.
Oh yes. I, I I believe Michelle invited me to the group and all that good stuff. And I feel like it is an importance of a good. I do appreciate the invite and all that great stuff because I am going to grow my business with this as well. I feel like it is a stronger impact to keep me go stronger, keep being I would say I try to say keep being,
Building.
motivated and all that great stuff.
That's right.
Awesome. Absolutely. This is definitely your network is your net worth, as they always
Right.
say. So we are very glad to have both of you a part of the BOB. So you are two of the most standout animators that are in the network, and that's kind of a big deal. So everything you do, there are young entrepreneurs who are in the BOB network who will be looking up to you guys. And Willie, I do understand that it's kind of we thing. We're kind of planning on doing some tutorials later on in the summer to
Yes.
help people who want to learn how to do beginning animation, and then we're going to combine that as Deuce and I teach beginning voice acting. So, and also that's kind of like if you decide to do anything beyond comics and animation, Ty, we can definitely help you source your voice actors for anything um, beyond the comics. And I know sometimes people do the still comics that still have the voices with them, where you do the frame by frame
Super
and the
cool.
speaking. How do you call that?
No, I said it's super cool.
Oh yeah.
It gives us nostalgic feeling as well,
Hmm.
especially on YouTube shorts.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Go
that's
ahead.
that's what I do. I've made some of those on TikTok, and I'm trying to make another one. The last time I recorded it, I didn't like my voice. I want to try again. But funny enough, a lot of
This
people,
makes
when I do these comic events, what's
I
that?
have an
Yeah,
awesome
I was
voice.
gonna say. Funny enough,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah. We can talk. We can definitely talk. But too, when I do comic events, I've had a couple people tell me, with my deep voice, they say I'd be good at voice acting, and I
You
can,
definitely.
also being a singer and performing on stage, I got quite a range, surprisingly, despite my low voice. So I would love to do voice acting too. I mean, people said I'd be good at it, so I'd be down to do that too.
Absolutely.
Look,
We
and you
have
you
plenty
already
of
got you
projects.
already got all the equipment that you
Right.
need.
Exactly.
Easy,
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
Yeah. So we definitely will be tapping in with you because we have projects coming up all the time. Most of them are paid, but some of them are free. So if you're looking to kind of like build a portfolio, or so yeah,
yeah.
you have an amazing voice, and the fact that you teach English is awesome.
Hmm.
Like, what grade do you teach?
I teach 11th and 12th graders, but I'm getting my master's right now, and the plan is to eventually teach college, not just for the pay increase, but also just because I want to teach a more advanced level, and then I can even do like a specific comic book class. So eventually I want to go up to that level, but I like the older kids, and my wife teaches second grade.
Oh wow. Okay. So tell me a little bit about that. So if you do, how would you break into that being able to teach a class on comics? How does that actually work?
So comics, first of all, there's a lot of studies done that comics help um, indoctrinate people into reading and help people read better. Just because some comics, like even Marvel comics I've read, have some pretty complicated words in them and complicated themes. But with the pictures, it just helps people understand. And comics, are also a lot shorter than books, so faster to get through as well. But if you imagine the pictures you see in a comic, if you imagine describing that in words, they would be just as long as any other novel. So it's kind of the same thing. But specifically, I actually did teach a comic this year, a unit with my 11th graders, because at another Comic Con, my dad is obsessed with Star Trek. So for his birthday, I got George Takei and William Shatner to sign a Star Trek comic. And I talked to George for a long time, and he talked about this book he was selling that is a comic book he made. And it's about his time being in the Japanese internment camps during World War II.
Oh, wow.
Um, so I bought it from him, and I like basically promised him right there that I would teach it. So I ordered 30 copies through my school, and I ended up teaching George Takei's book this year to 11th graders. So
Wow.
that was really cool that I fulfilled my promise to him that I would teach his book, because not a lot of people know that the Japanese were put into prison camps in America.
That's correct. A lot of people don't know that. Now, were you able to like snap some pictures and send them an email and kind of follow up with them and say, hey, I did what I said.
If I had his email, I guess I could look it up. I don't know. It'll probably be like his manager's email or something like that.
Mhm.
But I didn't think of that, so I should probably do that next year I teach it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is amazing. So let me ask you both, what are some services that you offer and that you could offer to your fellow BOB Rewards Club members or even non-members? And how could they get in touch with you to get those services completed?
Oh, okay. With me, I do like children illustration books, and I also do like cartoon music videos as well. And also I'm also doing like cartoon portraits of people as well, and all that great stuff.
And I do want to clarify something. A lot of people are, with Chat GPT and AI and stuff coming on, and people are getting a lot of flack for using AI in art. But I do just want to clarify. Yes, it can be easy and it can be simplistic, but sometimes to know what prompts to use is the magic trick, and not
Yeah.
everybody knows what
Hmm.
prompts to use. So there is a little bit of skill that goes into it, because you can go into Mid Journey and I can go into Mid Journey or Bing or whatever,
Two
and
different
we can come
things.
out with two totally different things if we, even if we have the same idea. So, we want to give people a little bit of grace when it comes to, certain things in AI. And then the thing about it is the AI can be a starting point for an idea, but you can take that and then you can tweak it into something different. So, Willie does do that. He's very good with prompts, probably a little bit more masterful than what I have seen on average, because what I've learned myself in AI, it's hard to keep those characters' faces consistent unless you do a bunch of other stuff. And Willie has learned how to do that, and he's mastering that. So, that's just for people that are kind of in the know. This is probably a little bit more nerd talk than anything, but there's kind of like, yeah, there's like, people that like rail against AI, and then people that are welcoming to it, but it's coming and you can't stop it. So we might as well learn how to integrate it and navigate with it, because
Incorporated.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not going away. Like
Right.
even for voice actors, voice acting is going to become
Hmm.
competitive with the machine. However, I will suffice it to say, and I tell my students, don't be afraid, because there's always going to be something that humans can give that a machine can't. However, the pricing is going to be what messes it up for us a little bit. So you have to have
Right.
love for
Yeah.
voice acting as well. It can't just be about the money. Like I call, there's people that pay mortgages with voice acting. Don't get me wrong, with royalties. So there is money in it, but it takes time to build that up. But other than that, the AI is coming and you can't stop it. So what about you, Ty? What kind of services could you offer to the public? And if somebody wants to contract you out, let's just say to help them build their storyline or storyboard for them, how would they get in touch with you, or and what else do you offer?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Being a writer, not that that's like the only thing, but being a writer, if anyone needed help with a storyboard, you wrote yourself into a corner. You need to figure it out. You need to figure out how to develop a character, build a universe. Anything that has to do with writing, even just like I used to do this for music, and I guess I would still do it too. I used to just have artists send me music and review it for free, just tell you what I think and how you can improve it. So I could do the same thing for stories um, and that kind of stuff. But then also music wise too, I'm getting back into recording or trying to. So I'd also be willing, specifically hip hop. If anyone wanted another artist trying to get back into that, I also do that kind of
I
stuff.
love it.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I can do, all kind of centered around writing, even rapping. Still kind of that writing sphere. So anything like that.
There's a word that they use over. I'm sure you're familiar with Black Sands Entertainment. It's called like it's like a world lord. Like you know how to create the places and the things in a story. It's a certain term for it, but I know that you would probably be amazing. And I know a couple of years ago, they were looking for somebody just like you that knew how to create the world that the characters
I was gonna
lived
say
in.
Black George Lucas.
Yeah, yeah, like create a whole world, but it
Yeah.
takes it's a special skill to do that though. Like you guys have no idea, because sometimes
Yeah.
you read a storybook and the references don't match up from the beginning of the story to the
Right.
end, and that's where people like tie.
Hmm.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure you'd be a fire editor too by you being an English teacher as well.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah. Even like, I've always wanted to work in Hollywood too, because I see like the DC EU falling apart. Now they got James Gunn to fix it. Sony's like Spider-Man verse without Spider-Man is falling apart. Like I would do so much better. Like
Yeah.
I've
That's why
actually
they're
thought
smart.
about doing a YouTube video. I haven't made a YouTube video yet. Yeah. But I thought about like talking about my idea to fix Sony's universe because it should have been centered around Venom as their like anti-hero, and then they could have had him fight Morbius and Craven and all these
Everybody.
villains. But
Oh
we
my
don't need to
God.
talk about that here. But I could do better.
Agent Venom with Brock. But keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
No, no, that's it. But yeah, just like designing stories, putting things together, mapping a story out so that everything makes sense. All of that stuff. Really good at that.
And what about
Voice
if
acting
someone
too,
wanted
as we
some
talked about.
virtual one-on-one guitar lessons? Would you be able to do that as well?
Yeah, I could definitely do that too. I play guitar, drums, bass, piano, ukulele, and I also am trying viola. I haven't picked it up for a while, but you know, don't ask me for lessons on that. I need lessons for myself on that. But the other instruments, yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. I just want to make sure you guys got all of your services out there because people will look at this and
Ask questions.
they will ask questions about it. So give your contact information, guys, one more time. And I mean, that's pretty much it for the show, unless there's anything else you want to add. You have been amazing, and I'm so glad to have been able to share this hour learning about your talent. I'm getting tongue twisted about your talents.
Yeah, my contact information is just New World Comics, NU World Comics on all the social media, and then New World Comics at gmail.com if you want to email me directly.
All right. What about you, Willie?
Okay, if you guys want to contact me through my Gmail account, it's Willie Rogers 2189 at gmail.com.
189.
No space.
Well, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
We're putting it in the feed, you guys, so they can make sure that everybody reach out to you. We appreciate you guys for coming on the show. It's very interesting to learn about content creating and comic book creating in the world of comics, because that's something that we're diving into as well.
Yes.
So maybe, like I said, it's a whole network of BOP, but we definitely have some work for you guys, and hopefully we can all work together in the future. Again, shout out to Willie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right,
Thank
well, you guys have a great afternoon, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
You too.
Bye.
All right, folks. So that's the end of the Shop Black podcast. Anything you want to give them?
No, just make sure when y'all get a chance to go to Amazon, we got to plug our books in to check out our 2 books that we have. There's definitely more to come. That's Tip the Damn Waitress and Black People Don't Tip. If you want to know what that's all about, you have to read it for yourself to understand why tipping is so much important to educate in all communities. I won't just say the Black community, but all communities. Okay. Right. So again, we do thank you so much. Make sure that you get ready to join us in May on the 27th for our virtual thon. We will be here on the virtual screen from 12 to 6 p.m. Central Time. And man, we get to meet so many wonderful speakers. We get to talk with Dr. Umar. It's going to be so amazing.
Wait. I got questions from above.
I know, right?
And I was going to say show up and show out for Juneteenth, but don't show out. Act decent. And like you got some sense. Just show up and support.
Show up and support.
For Juneteenth.
And if you need vendor information, you can go to June. What was that website again? Juneteenth. Here it is, right here.
Go to BOBAwards.club.
Yeah. And then you can go to JuneteenthMinnesota.com. That was it. That's the one.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's going to be it for today's show. And we thank you all so much for joining.
We need a
No.
You shot me with orange juice.
Oh, wow.